All right.
All right.
Yes, sir.
How it sound?
You sound good.
Okay, cool. Kaya, Shalom King.
You getting something different or something?
Nah, I just be having problems with these AirPods on my MacBook. It just be shaky, man.
Bro,
I got.
I asked my bad, go ahead.
I was going to open my phone and then it hooked up to my phone, and that's where problems start occurring. Go ahead.
I asked my rib this. I said, what if Apple just like stop supporting, like stop service, stop making iPhones, and you had to switch to a damn Android? How'd you feel, bro?
You got to deal with it, man.
Bro, that would suck. I'm not gonna lie. I told her, I was like, I said, I mean, the second best thing to me is going to a Samsung phone, but ain't nobody trying to do that, man. Let's be honest.
Probably go grab me a little Galaxy of some sort. The street value of an iPhone would go crazy though. People would be
Yeah,
reselling it. It'd get crazy, like because the street value of iPhones already be. There's a whole market out there, but yeah, it'd be crazy. Like Supreme, reselling Supreme
yeah.
be going crazy. Reselling iPhones, you get your hands on some iPhones, you can tax. They
You
stop
said you could
producing.
tag.
It'll go crazy.
That would suck.
I can see people going crazy. They stop making them. Yeah, man, we finna jump off in a second. Maccabees chapter 6. If you don't know about Second Maccabees chapter 6, it's real fire. That real fire right there. You'll see some mighty faith in there. So I'm gonna pull it up on the screen today, man. It's just me and you. And if you think of any scriptures, just let me know. Just let me know.
Yeah, I'm getting them off rapid fire, my boy.
Say what?
So I'm be getting them off rapid fire, my boy.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Bro, I found out, Antiochus Epiphany.
Yeah.
Do you know what the Epiphanies mean?
Man, I do, but I just forgot. Does it mean does it got something to do with like a god or being
Mm-hmm.
worshipped? Yeah.
Yeah. It
I can't
means
remember
God
exactly.
manifest.
Okay.
This
Yeah,
nigga
he
thought he
think
was
he
Zeus in the
God.
flesh.
He thought he was that guy.
Bro, like he thought he was Zeus in the flesh. And this is why we see him like going around setting up Zeus in our temple and shit. It's because when he wasn't around, he wanted us to worship him because he thought he was Zeus.
We finna read some. Should I read this joint in GNT ski? Or should I go with the
He's in the
KJV?
GNT ski. That nigga died a righteous death. That's all I gotta say.
Bro, we need to go over how bro took out his inwards. Whoa, man. We ain't went over
He
that in
said,
a minute. When I seen that for the first time, I was astonished. I
I
was
think that got something to
astonished.
do with Nicanor.
Okay, well, maybe we'll just save it for Nicanor then. We gotta go look at that.
Yeah.
I look you wanna do a lesson tomorrow too. You work tomorrow?
Yeah.
You know, when I be out there, it'd be bad service though, man. When I have good service, it'd be early in the morning. And you gonna be ready when I'm making my way to my first stop out there. You
Yeah,
usually
somebody
be
said
ready
that.
around 10. It just be the internet. Like it'd be dropping on and off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because me and Malachi tried to go live one time. Bro, it was just a mess, man. Unless I did it on my way home. When I was on my way home, it took me about an hour and 30 to get home. So maybe that's when I could start up. I think the connection be kind of consistent when I'm on my way home. Okay. Let's jump into this, man. I was trying to give it a little bit of time, see if some brothers hop on, but everybody want to be wicked. Anyways,
The
I'm
Christian's
going to
gonna
read this
come in here in a
joint.
second.
Yeah, you seen Benny jump on our stuff yesterday? I put him in timeout, man.
Yeah, that wasn't the time for him.
Yeah, ain't even the time to be playing with Buddy.
We got the
All right.
captain in front of us, brother. You don't need to be
Yeah,
here.
bro. You need to be more relaxed, bro. You don't even know what you're dealing with right now.
You need to shake the spirit, bro.
He didn't understand his time. All
You
right.
didn't get it.
All right. I'm a rocking the GNT for a little bit. Second Maccabees chapter 6, verse
Wait.
1.
Did we open up? Did we open up? I don't remember opening up.
Now we good. So I hear. All right.
We good.
We want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah, and allowing us to celebrate this beautiful feast day, Hanukkah. Let's get it. It says not long after that. So as y'all can see, we're in Second Maccabees chapter 6. We starting at the top. It's only 31 verses, and we're gonna read the joint in the GNT a little bit. And if we need to, we'll bounce between the GNT and the KJV. Anyways, it says not long after that, the king sent an elderly Athenian to force the Jews to abandon the religion and customs of their ancestors. An Athenian is someone who's from Athens. Athens is like a Greek city state, and I believe it's like the capital or some, if I'm not mistaken. It says Athens. It says it's a major coastal urban area in the Mediterranean, and it is both the capital and the largest city of Greece. All right. So I might have to check in on more some of this. It says classical Athens was one of the most powerful city-states in ancient Greece. It was a century, I don't know how to say that word, century for democracy, the arts, education, philosophy, and was highly influential throughout the European continent, partially in Rome, partially in ancient Rome, Slovakia. It says, for this reason, it is often regarded as the cradle of the Western civilization and the birthplace of democracy. You see that? You see that? It says it
Madness.
is right. It says in its own right, independently from the rest of Greece in modern times, Athens is a huge cosmopolitan metropolis and central to economic, financial, industrial, maritime, political, and cultural life in Greece. So basically, they kind of giving you the overview of how important Athens was. It was a Greek city state, and it was super influential. It would be what's a super influential place in America? You got a few. Or you got New
Yeah, New
York,
York,
Cali, Vegas,
Washington.
Texas, yeah, Washington. Yeah, those are some super influential places. And yeah, let's jump back into this joint. So they sent the nasty Athenian to force the Jews to abandon their religion and customs. It says he was also to defile their temple by dedicating it to the Olympian god Zeus. The temple on Mount Gerizim was to be officially named Temple of Zeus, the god of hospitality, as the people who lived there had requested. So he went up to Mount Gerizim and he said, you know what? We're going to dedicate this temple to Zeus. It says the oppression was harsh and intolerable. So just like it tell you that it was heavy oppression, it was intolerable. That's why a lot of us was shaking the spot, fleeing to different places for safety. It says
It
Gentiles
was
filled the
real quick.
temple. Go
A
ahead.
lot of it was intolerable to the people who didn't want to get down with it. You also got a bunch of men who would love to get down with it. Was reading about, not reading, my bad. I was listening to Priest Daniel this morning going over it. You know, Jason?
Yeah.
I think his original name was Joshua. It was Yahushua, but he changed it because he wanted to be like the Greeks.
I didn't know that part, but I knew that
Yeah.
his name was actually Joshua.
Yeah. This nigga was wicked. And it wasn't oppressive. It wasn't oppressive for him. You know, it wasn't oppressive to these men who wanted to do these wicked things and these wicked acts and wicked deeds. This shit was good. It was glorious. They loved it. Right? But no, to the men who wanted to keep the commandments of God, it was oppressive. It sucked. It was hell. Right? But we can keep reading.
I'm gonna read this. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 13 in the GNT. I'll start at verse 12. I want to get the part where he goes into the citizenship. I'm gonna start at verse 9. It says, Jason also, 2 Maccabees 4 and 9, Jason also offered him an additional 11,250 pounds of silver for the authority to establish a stadium where young men could train and enroll the people of Jerusalem as citizens of Antioch. So Jason is a menace, a complete menace, and hey, he was a wicked man. Let me get
He's an evildoer.
Antioch. So y'all got to understand these places, because even in the New Testament scriptures, the scriptures like the letters that Paul wrote, the Acts of the Apostles, the book of Acts, it talks about Antioch. I believe even in the gospel, it mentions Antioch. Now, let's get a little bit of information on Antioch. Antioch, it says, was a Hellenistic Greek city founded by Seleucus Nicator in 300 BC. I didn't know that, Ike.
What?
Seleucus the First Nicator. It says Antioch was founded by a man named Seleucus. How do you say this? Nicator? Nicator? Anyways,
Look at it.
Nicator. Nicator. Anyways, it was founded by that. I didn't know that. In 300 BC. That's really close to the time of Alexander the Great, whenever he was ruling, 331 BC. Anyways, it says it was one of the greatest and most important Greek cities of the Hellenistic period. The city served as the capital of the Seleucid Empire. See, I did not know that. Bro, that actually that adds some more weight to Antioch and it being talked about in scriptures, because it was the capital of the Seleucid Empire. That actually make me more aware of what's going on. It says, and later as regional capital to both the Roman and Byzantine Empire. I'm kind of looking at some of this. It says Antioch was founded near the near the end of the 4th century BC by Seleucus Nicator, one of Alexander the Great's generals. Oh, 5. Now we cooking up, bro. Dang. It says Seleucus encouraged Greeks from all over the Mediterranean to settle in the city. The city's location offered geographical, military, economic benefits to its occupants. Yeah, they crazy for that.
Said it.
Says Antioch was heavily involved in spice trade and laid within close reach to the royal road. The city was the capital of the when the Romans took control, making it the capital of okay. All right. Dang, see, there's more information over here. It says the city was also the main center of Hellenistic Judaism. Dang. Oh, that's Kai. I didn't even know he was doing all that. Hey, Kai back. All right. So, look what I just found out. It says the city of Antioch, was also the main center of Hellenistic Judaism at the end of the Second Temple period. As one of the cities of the Pentarchy, I feel like I did not say that right. It says Antioch was called the cradle of Christianity as a result of its longevity and the pivotal role that it played in the emergence of early Christianity. The Christian New Testament asserts that the name Christian first emerged in Antioch. We actually see that in the book of Acts 13. So when you see in these places in the New Testament, look, we see they're going straight back to Greece, straight back to the times of the Maccabees, the Hasmonean dynasty. That's crazy. What's not? I already knew some of it. Like I knew Antioch was, a Greek city-state or whatever. I was already up on that. Same thing with Athens, but just
prominent though.
You see what I'm saying? When you get more information, it just pop more. It's like, dang, we got classic precepts. So people who don't know about it, let's bring it out. Acts.
I don't even know how Acts 13 is my brain like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you study that. This motherfucker just in there.
Nah, brother. He said pre-program. Oh, you got that joint, son. You got the sea salt. That's awful, brother. Okay, let me pull it up, man. Acts 13. Check it out. It says, now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger.
Man, you see, real quick, you see how they trying to spin it with the beginning of Christian faith and all that? Like, nah, man, these was black people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. On Wikipedia,
these Jews, man.
You gotta know the clues. You gotta know the game.
They ain't pulled none of that out. These dark-skinned
to the
brothers,
blue
man.
letter. See that? Okay, so this place, I'm gonna put you up on this real quick. I just came across some way it can be in your bag too. So much of the information we read on Wikipedia is right here in the blue letter. But this part right here, it says a city in Pisidia on the borders of how do you PhrYgia? That's what, don't it go into that in the 7 churches in Revelation? No, that's Pergamos, huh? Anyways,
no, this shit sound Egyptian. Say the one.
Phryggia.
One time.
I think it's Phryggia.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Anyways, it says it was founded by Seleucus Nicanor. Under the Romans, it became a colonia and was also called Caesarea. That might be helpful one of these days. Anyways, I'm not super woke on that, but we're trying to get there. Anyways, so when you go into this word nigger, it's been a minute. Let's look at it. You go into it, it means black.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got to deal with
what it
that.
mean?
And they want
Some
to
people be
kind of,
like, no, it means Niger. It's Niger. Nah, just throw another G on there and you would be correct.
stop playing
It's
games,
nigga.
man.
The white man that do the voiceovers in Blue Letter say it like that.
I just used it. I don't know if you can hear it though.
I couldn't hear it. I mean, Lord willing, they could, but that what it say. That's that's what the Christians was called in Antioch. The
That's
Jews.
what the Israelites was called at Antioch, man. Called niggers.
See that? See
You got
that,
to deal
man?
with that, man.
Now you got to deal with that.
You
Now
got to
you got a
deal with
Christian
that.
that's gonna come up here and try to defend it, and well, brother, no, that
That's where
ain't.
Benny show up.
And for Benny show up,
When
and
Benny
this
show
is
up and
madness.
he get the cutting stuff down. You feel that?
You know what I say for Poseidon's ult on Smite?
Yeah.
That when you pull up with that.
Bro, what, man?
Right.
Okay. I was trying to read this though. So we are second back of these four, read verse 9. So Jason was trying to make it to where the Israelites can get citizenship in Antioch.
License to do after the ordinance of the heathen.
Going back to First Maccabees chapter 1, exactly. It says,
Mm-hmm.
and the king gave his approval, and just as soon as Jason took over the office of high priest, he made the people of Jerusalem change to the Greek way of life. That
That's
was his
madness.
whole goal, was to make the Israelites heathens. Make the
Hey,
Israelites. Go ahead.
my bad.
No,
This
you
is
straight.
exactly how Esau get down still today, right? Jason was in no wise the damn high priest by God. The white man had to make him high priest. And after he did that, this is the same way they use our so-called rappers and brothers that's of so-called high status, the basketball players, so on and so forth, right? They get
Mm,
them in a high status to push their agenda. That's what they do.
now you
Jason
spitting.
pushed their agenda. You're right. Same thing that they do today. Same thing Esau do today. Amalek, right? Get these people in these high places, and next thing you know, we rapping about killing each other. We rapping about hating each other, so on and so forth. It's the same thing today as it was back then, right? This ain't nothing new. Just like Scripture say, Solomon said it. There's nothing new under the sun. In order for our people to completely get overthrown, he had to put one of our people to show us, hey, look, it's not that bad, and I'm a high priest. You know, you kind of got to get down now. That's just madness. Go ahead though.
He began by abolishing the favors that John had secured for the Jews from the previous kings. John was the father of Eupolemus, who later went to Rome to make an allegiance and to establish ties of friendship. It says Jason also did away with our Jewish customs and introduced new customs which were contrary to our law. So he started making new laws, and them laws went against the laws of God. It says, with great enthusiasm, he look at that. It says, with great enthusiasm, he
Yeah.
built a stadium near the Temple Hill and led our finest young men to adopt the Greek custom of participating in athletic events. I
Man, it
think in the
wasn't just damn
KJV.
athletic events. My bad. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nah, go ahead.
I think we were going the same place. It ain't just damn athletic. Well, hold on. Let me not speak so presumptuously. It's talking about the gymnasium, isn't it? Or no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. It ain't the damn athletic events that's the problem. Well, back then it was the problem. I'm not gonna lie. That shit going in idolatry. But it was also in the fashion that they did the athletic events. It was,
You breaking up on my end.
you adopting this. My bad. Can you hear me better now or no?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me better now or no?
Yes, sir.
You said what?
Yes, sir. I can hear you better.
All right. So what our people were doing where it was adopting the Sodomitish as what is it called? We were adopting these customs, these Sodomitish customs, right? I go over this often with my rib. We are a modest people, not just the women. Yeah, you had our women having modest garments on. The men wore modest garments. We were a modest people. When you go back into looking at ancient pottery and ancient pictographs of people, a lot of the other nations will be showing a lot of skin off. They'll be showing thighs off, showing tattoos off, showing a lot of stuff off. Our people always covered ourselves up. That's how we got down. So now you got Jason coming in here claiming to be high priest, and he's bringing in, like I said, our finest young men. Hey, look, man, you can kind of be in here naked. You can get down with that now. And you got but they got wrestling going on. That was a big thing in damn Greek culture. You got wrestling, the damn discus throw, and you just kind of got two grown men over here wrestling naked. That's off.
That's all.
That's madness, bro. My bad. You got it.
So the part I was going to touch on, it says he led our finest young men. So our youth is being attacked. And when you read in the KJV, I believe it says our chief young men. We always had mighty young men coming up from mighty households, from mighty clans. And these men would, start taking on these leadership roles as judges, as princes, men who are known and established. You know what I'm saying? So I can imagine him taking the men that everybody knows is next up, and kind of getting them into the Greekest fashions. It says, because of the unrivaled wickedness of Jason, that ungodly and illegitimate high priest, the craze for the Greek way of life and for foreign customs reached such a point. And this scripture is hot, man. Even in KJV, it's hot, man. If you know kind of
Mm-hmm.
the background, you know that Jason, his brother was high priest. His name is Onias, if I'm not mistaken. And Onias, man, he had a ready mind for the law, man. He had a zeal to serve the Most High. But his brother, he backdoored him, man. He went behind his brother back. He wanted to be high priest that bad, to where he went to the heathens, man, to obtain his power. Backdoored his brother, man. We
Illegitimate.
could talk, and that'll go into jealousy and hatred, envying and
Mm-hmm.
covetousness, right? It says that even the priests lost all interest in their sacred duties. So they're getting so into these Greek fashions, the priests kind of not interested in being, a damn priest no more. It says they lost interest in the temple services and neglected the sacrifices. Just as soon as the signal was given, they would rush off to take part in the games that were forbidden by our law. And this goes back to the point that you briefly went into, Aharon. Is there anything wrong with picking up a basketball and shooting it? No. Is there anything wrong with throwing something and seeing how far you can throw it? No. The problem comes in whenever you're going into idolatry. The problem comes in when you're doing, mind you, these games were held, these events and games were held for in dedication for their gods. What's that joint you be saying about the sweat and all of that? You hear me?
I can hear you now. Say something.
What's that you be going into about the sweat and how they would save it or something?
Okay, yeah. I was watching this. I like watching a lot of videos on Roman and Greek culture because I found out that tied a lot into our people, right? And so they brought up the Olympics. Can you still hear me? I'm just trying to make sure.
Yeah, you good.
Okay. So they brought up the Olympics and how they would collect the sweat off of these men's bodies and offer that up to their gods, to their idols. The idolatry ran deep in Roman and Greek customs. I'm not gonna lie. So these games that our people were partaking in, they knew this, they understood this. Like I said, they couldn't wait till Jason came through and gave the go. Like, yeah, it's okay. All he had to say was, "You're not gonna be stoned for this, bro. You're good." Niggas took off. Niggas couldn't wait to go into sin. They couldn't bear it. They was itching for it. Right? This is why we see a lot of the New Testament teachings on why Christ came and said, "Look, man, even in your mind, you can't do this because these men did it in their minds and then it acted out in real life." But like the original point is, this is why a lot of their games, a lot of their custom ties into idolatry, and they knew that, they understood that, and they didn't have a problem with it. But it's on you.
All right. Um, it says they did not care about anything their ancestors had valued. They prized only Greek honors. So they stopped dealing with the Most High, man. That's literally fornication, idolatry, and fornication. It says, and this turned out to be the source of all of their troubles. So us not wanting to serve the Most High joyfully, it turned out to be the source of all of our troubles. It says, for the very people whose ways they admired and whose customs they had tried to imitate became their enemies and oppressed them. Solomon gave a good piece of advice. He said, envy not thou the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Why would you want to envy your oppressor? Why you want to do everything how he do it? You want to serve his God. See, some things being in America, and here comes discernment. Here comes discernment. Yes, we are in our oppressor's hands, so some things you're going to do. Like our oppressors, what's something they do? They
Shit,
they
suit and
do
tie.
suit and tie, right? So to get a good job, sometimes you might have to put on the nice little pants, whatever. But this is where things really, really, really get. This is where you really got to be able to draw the line, man. When it comes to idolatry, when it comes to, um, them practices, man, that just don't go against the Most High. And you
Hey,
gotta have discernment.
uh,
Yeah.
grab me a quick precept, please. Um, let me see. Let me see if I can get it. It's in Paul.
What it say?
Basically, putting aside the commandments of God for the commandments of men.
Man, no, I don't know that one by heart.
Because this is a lot of what Paul was dealing with. This is the foundation of all the stuff that Paul was dealing with. You can keep going. I'm gonna see if I can
You
find
want
it.
the Colossians 2 and 8, it says, "Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy, vain deceit." Yeah, that's not the one you want, man. I kind of got the vibe though.
I'm gonna just Google it.
All right, you do that. It says it is a serious thing to disregard God's law, as you will see from the following events. So you'll see a lot of the turmoil, a lot of the things we went to, all because we wanted to break the Most High God's commandments. So we're gonna jump back to Second Maccabees chapter 6. Gotta keep it moving, man, because we're not really far in this. So we read verse 2. We read verse 3. The oppression was harsh and almost intolerable. Verse 4 it says,
I think I found it.
all right, where is it?
Go to Romans 10 and 1.
Okay. Romans chapter 10, verse 1 says, "Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge.
Come on.
For they, being ignorant of God's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of Yahweh."
Okay, so this isn't the exact verse going over the commandments of men. I know there is one, I just can't find it. But this is the same vibe. This is literally going to the same thing. Men trying to go about and establish their own righteousness instead of the righteousness of God. Going into the law, statutes, and commandments, going into faith. That's the true righteousness of God, right? We went to establish our own righteousness, following ways of Jason. That's how all this stuff began. Following ways of Jason, following under Greek philosophy, and we kind of trying to mix the Greek life, the Greek way of life, and the Greek way of living with, you know, the customs of our forefathers, and we kind of trying to mix that up. This is where all this stuff started from. This is the whole ministry of Paul. Paul's trying to undo everything that was being done right here. This is where it all starts at. But it's like we can keep reading. I was just really wanting to grab that.
Okay, for sure. You need me? No. All right. Verse 4 it says, "Gentiles filled the temple with drinking parties, and all sorts of immorality. They even had intercourse with prostitutes there. Forbidden objects were brought into the temple." So they kind of turning up in the temple, man. They got a new god in there. They turning up, drinking. It says drinking parties. They throwing a big kickback in the damn temple of the Most High. It's crazy. Then you
That's
got
where
harlots on the damn table where the showbread is supposed to be. Go ahead.
that's where the I always like to bring it out, but that's where the word orgy comes from. Whenever you look into that word orgy, it goes back into temple whoredom. You got men and women off in there. And I always like to give the example of 300. If you've never watched the movie 300, go watch the movie 300. You'll see how they was getting down in this temple. You got men kissing men, women kissing women. It's a man body in there and a goat head. It's a goat head on this nigga, and and that's trying to symbolize bestiality. If you've ever watched Squid Games, and if you've ever finished Squid Games, you'll see towards the end, you got these rich men in there betting on the game, and all the women are dressed up as what? They're painted as tigers and leopards and different types of animals. These niggas do not like women. They like men and animals. They like beast. And this what was going on in the temple. The same kind of behavior was going on in our holy temple. And guess what? It was our people that allowed it. Our people allowed it. Of course, not every single one of our people. We have righteous men like Mattathias. We have righteous men like his sons Judas and Simon and Jonathan. We see that, right? But at the end of the day, our men allowed this to happen. Just all kinds of nasty things going on in our temple. If you think that the Greeks were just so high and mighty that they wouldn't allow beasts in there and sleep with beasts, please, please get that out of your mind. These niggas didn't care about anything. They did it with whatever and whomever, however. That's how they got down. But Slovakia, you got it.
Verse 5 it says, and the altar was covered with detestable sacrifices prohibited by our law. So now they already dedicated our temple to Zeus, and they sacrificing unclean things in our temple to Zeus. And it's getting crazy. It says, and it became impossible to observe the Sabbath, to celebrate any of the traditional festivals, or even so much to admit to being a Jew. So brothers not able to commit to keep the Sabbath. Brothers not able to keep any of the feast days. Can't keep a damn new moon. Can't really keep Passover. It's getting crazy. Then it goes as far to say you couldn't even say that you was Israelite. It says in each month when the king's birthday was celebrated. So they were celebrating the king's birthday not once a year, but every month.
Mm-hmm.
See that? So each month when the king's birthday was celebrated, the Jews were compelled by brute force to eat the intestines of sacrificial animals.
What was they sacrificing?
Is this not the same thing that they made us do? Eat the intestines of these animals, unclean animals. You go back to the most recent slavery that the Israelites was going into. I mean, hardcore bondage, and they was feeding us the intestines of unclean animals. And you got washed up ass niggas still partaking in that. First of all, it's unclean. Second of all, it's unclean.
Unclean animals' intestines. That's off.
You eating an unclean animal. You eating the pig, but then you go to the vilest part of the pig. You eat his damn intestines, and you eating the dung. You eating the poop. You eating the chitlins, and you throwing it. You gooping a lot of hot sauce in there, and you saying, "Man, I've been waiting on these all year."
You happy about it?
That's off. It says, then during the festival in honor of the wine god Dionysus, they were required to wear ivy wreaths on their heads and march in procession. So you know what a wreath is. Let's get it. Brothers know what it is, man. Even if you don't know, you low-key know. Man, these is everywhere right now because of Christmas. They were wearing these things. So don't let me catch one of y'all Israelites kind of getting on Christmas. You know, you kind of got these on your door. I'm not.
And that nigga, he can't wait to get lucky under the mistletoe.
Oh my god.
Niggas suck, bro. I ain't gonna
Hey,
lie. Our people suck sometimes, bro.
if it's an Israelite trying to walk underneath the mistletoe and make it happen, man, I'm gonna be disappointed. It said under the mistletoe. Man, I forgot that was the thing.
Yeah.
All right,
Jake
reading
getting
on.
down with all that.
Jake getting down. Jake getting down.
Hey, real quick. You know what? You know what's funny? What we're going over now is what's happening like today, like the syncretism and stuff. That's what Christianity does with Thanksgiving. Christianity does that with Christmas. Christianity does that with Halloween. They do it with everything. They say, well, I know it's pagan originally, but we're doing it to worship Jesus. Nigga, that's off. That is madness, and that is off. No way and nowhere in scripture where we supposed to be syncretist and synchronizing what they do and how they worship with how we worship. Ain't no way.
We're gonna call this Yahweh Shah's Day.
We're gonna call this Yahweh size day. That's madness.
Christmas roll around and brothers celebrating and saying this is Yahweh Shah's Day.
Yeah.
That's madness. All right. Reading on, verse 8 says, on the advice of Ptolemy, the neighboring Greek cities were also instructed to require Jews to eat the sacrifices. They were told to put to death every Jew who refused. It was easy to see that hard times were ahead. And we're rolling up on these times, man. We're rolling up on times like this. And the only preparation, make sure you prepare. And I'm not talking about having cases of water and you kind of stacking up and you got rice and beans. You can do that. But, you know, if you're not keeping God's commandments, you're not building yourself spiritually, building yourself up mentally, building up your faith, that's all going to be given to somebody else anyway. So you really want to start preparing your mind for remaining 10 toes down, even when these hard times start getting closer. You can see them brewing up now, but it's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. And actually, if it get better, prepare for the worst. Get ready, because the scriptures talk about that in Thessalonians. It says everybody should think it's like peace, and then all hell gonna break loose. I want to say it's like First Thessalonians chapter 5. Let me see if I can get that. It's been a minute. Let's see if I can get this thing. Let's see.
Right.
Okay, First Thessalonians 5:1. It says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you." So you said, man, you know evil is coming. You don't need me to come tell you that. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child. They shall not escape. So he said, you know, I don't need to tell you. You know, I don't need to tell you. I know that y'all already know. Evil is coming. When they say peace and safety, know that all hell finna break loose. So, verse 10, we back in 2 Maccabees 6. Verse 10, it says, for example, 2 women were arrested for having their baby circumcised. They were paraded around the city with their babies hung from their breast. Then they were thrown from, it says, then they were thrown down from the city wall. So they called an Israelite woman, made an example out of them.
Yep.
An Israelite woman circumcising their children, holding on to the law, statutes, and commandments, made an example out of them. Those kind of evil days are going to come. And the only way you're going to be protected, hey, if you abide in the Most High law, statutes, commandments, and you move in the spirit, man. I mean, moving in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Go ahead.
And it's kind of like this. I don't necessarily know about those women that are speaking about right here, but these men, don't forget, it said that we wanted to worship and get down with them, but then it became a snare unto us. You know, some people might have wanted to get down with a certain amount of customs, but they thought they could still keep their customs. And they thought it was still sweet. Like, damn, I kind of got down with what you said. Like, what's going on now? I just wanted to circumcise my child. I'm finna get punished now? It's like, yeah, nigga. It was you. You thought to go astray from the Most High God. You thought it was finna be cool. You thought it was finna be gravy. No, these are your enemies.
So you
These is your
saying,
enemies. Go ahead.
so if I'm not mistaken, you kind of saying you could see a person who they kind of being double minded. They kind of trying to serve God and Zeus, and the Most High
Yeah.
come allow them to come get their hands on.
Allow them to come yoke them up. Because, you know, our people, because you're not finna just, me and you said it the other day, we keep laws that we don't even be talking about. Some laws is like, damn, I'm just keeping it and I forgot it was like really, we don't even go over it. That's how it was, especially back then, especially in the land. They keeping laws because it's embedded in them. And that's their way
Right.
of living. They just wanted to add on the Greek fashions. They wanted to add on the pleasures of the Greek life. Nah, nigga, you should have knew better. This is not how God rocking. God not rocking. You're not getting down like that. It's like, okay, I can eat pork now. That's awesome, amazing. Oh damn, I can't keep the Sabbath though. I can't keep this. I thought everything was good, bro. Like, you know, we remember Jason, like I can't keep the Sabbath no more though. It's like, nah, bro, you gave all that up as soon as you signed that waiver, as soon as you signed that contract with them niggas, and all your morals is gone now. Oh, that's nah. Now you're being punished for it. Let's not forget, by this time, I believe Mattathias already went throughout the nation. Mattathias already kind of linking up. Yo, where the folks at? And if I'm wrong, my apologies, right? He might not have. But I'm almost certain it was brothers that was not getting down with this. I'm almost certain that it was brothers clicking up and linking up that was like, nah, nigga, we not finna stand for this. And you kind of knew who they were, but you wanted to keep the Greek fashions. You kind of wanted to do this on the slide. And so when all hell start coming down on your helmet, now you like, damn, what the hell? Same thing with the mark of the beast. It says in Revelation that they shall get a botch.
Mm.
There's going to be something that comes upon them, and it's going to be like, damn, mama, why do I have this? You thought it was all good. These are your enemies. These niggas do not care about you. You are slaves to them. They value you as nothing. But we always want to run to them. Just like the scripture saying Lamentations, our eyes are always wanting, for we search for a nation that could not save us. We keep searching for a nation that cannot save us instead of going to the Most High God.
Right.
Go ahead, dog. Slakia.
He said it was a snare unto us. He said, "Woo, let me grab this in Psalms, man.
Mm-hmm.
What is it though? Psalms 134.
Same situations going on with in the time of I believe Numbers. No, not Numbers. Joshua, I believe. Is it Judges? There we go. In the time of Judges, we kept going to serve other gods and other nations, and it was never going our way. And it got to the point where we called unto the Most High God, and the Most High God said, "Call unto those whom you served. Call them." Because these other nations start getting on our ass, like always. Call unto those gods because you didn't want to get down with me. You didn't want to get down with my program. And the Most High God just let us be. Same situation with the Greeks. Same situation with Babylon. Same situation now. It. When are we gonna learn? But Salaki, you got your precept now?
I'm almost there. This
It's
is the
not.
book of Psalms, chapter 106 and verse 34. It says, "They did not destroy the nations concerning who the Lord commanded them." So when the Lord was giving us, allotting us the Holy Land, giving us the land, He told us to utterly destroy them people. It says, verse 34. I'm gonna read it now again. Since we got the background, or excuse me, the backstory. We was commanded to destroy all of those nations that was in the Holy Land. Verse 34 says, because it says they did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. And they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. Yea, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils. and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons, of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan, and the land was polluted with blood. And there were it says, thus were they defiled with their own works, and went a whoring with their own inventions. Therefore was the wrath of the Lord kindled against the people, and so much that he abhorred his own inheritance, and gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. Many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel, and were brought low for their iniquity. Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction when he heard their cry, and he remembered for them his covenant. This whole chapter go crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That whole chapter crazy. But the main point I wanted to get to was we were supposed to not get down with them. We were supposed to utterly destroy them. It even tell you that in the law, but we didn't. And it was a snare unto us. Next thing you know, we sacrificing our children. I mean, infants. To their gods. To Molech. If I'm not mistaken. Right, and you can kind of, this is a good precept to go with that Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12. Where the Canaanites where first it tells you that God hated them. And it talks about how they were doing these sacrifices. That's why we're against Planned Parenthood. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We're against that. The Most High is against that. You can't be. Anyways, we're not going to go into that right now. Verse 12. Well, let's go to verse 11. So I hear. Check this out. So this second Maccabees chapter 6 go crazy. It says, on another occasion, Philip was told that some Jews had gathered in a nearby cave to observe the Sabbath in secret. Philip attacked and burned them all alive. They had such respect for the Sabbath day that they would not fight to defend themselves. So you had some Israelite zealots. They boogied because they wanted to keep the Sabbath. Philip learned what it was. He pulled up and killed them. And these Israelites decided, because it was the Sabbath, they're not going to defend themselves. They're just going to accept death. Yep. You know what I'm saying? But when you read the account, the next time they had pulled up on us on the Sabbath, we fought back. All right, because if we didn't, everybody would be dead. You know what I'm saying? That's understanding in that. If somebody try and kill me on the Sabbath day, best believe I'm gonna protect myself. It says, I beg you not to become discouraged as you read about the terrible things that happen. Consider that this was the Lord's way of punishing his people, not of destroying them. It says, in fact, it is a sign of kindness to punish a person immediately for his sins. This is good. What is going to be said is very good. It's understanding in this. It says, it is a sign of kindness to punish a person immediately for his sins, rather than to wait a long time. It says the Lord does not treat us as he does other nations. He waits patiently until they have become deeply involved in sin before he punishes them. So the Lord, when it comes to the heathens, he'll let their sins stack all the way up. Then he'll punish them all at once. And that punishment, there is no correction. You can't you're getting destroyed.
More than they can bear.
But what? It's too much. It says, but he punished us before we have sinned too much. So basically, when we start going off, boom, he come put that fire on us. You want to go off more? Cool. I'm gonna put your ass in slavery. The Lord got all kinds of judgments, instant judgments. Like if you say some crazy shit to your brother that's coming from a wrong place, the Lord can put some quick fire on you. Now your engine messed up in your car. You know what I'm saying? You never know. The Lord can give you that quick punishment, and it's better to get them quick punishment. Because if he didn't chastise you right then, guess what? Then things add up. Now he got to smoke you and remove you from earth. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
it says, go ahead.
It's crazy because throughout our times with these other nations, this is our quick punishments. Imagine what the Lord has stored up for their punishment and they haven't even got it yet. What we reading about is our immediate punishments, and that it's terrible. What they got stored up is astronomical. I'm not gonna lie, because I be reading about these accounts and I be like, damn, they did us damn dirty. You go back to slavery, here in the Americas, they did us dirty. Them is immediate punishments. They ain't even got theirs yet. That's oh God. But let Christianity tell us God love everybody. So hey, here's what it is.
It says, so the Lord is always merciful to us, his own people. Although he punishes us with disasters, he never abandons us. It says, I have made these few observations by way of reminder. We will now get on with the story. It says, there was an elderly and highly respected teacher of the law by the name of Eliezer, whose mouth was being forced open to make him eat pork. So you got a well-respected elder. They was trying to force him to eat pork. They was ripping his mouth open to try and make him eat it. It says, but he preferred an honorable death rather than a life of disgrace. So he spit out the meat and went willingly to the place of torture, showing how people should have courage to refuse unclean food, even if it costs them their life. That's mighty right there. That's a big, mighty move. You got to be an OG big bro to understand this right there. It says those in charge of the sacrifice had been friends of Eleazar for a long time. And because of his friendship, they told him privately to bring meat that was lawful for him to eat. He need only to pretend to eat the pork, they said, and in this way he would not be put to death. So now you kind of got him trying to backdoor Eleazar. Let me make sure I heard. You still here, King?
Yeah, I'm just by a dog.
Okay, cool. So you trying to backdoor him, man. They said they tried to give him a deal. They tried to give him a deal just like the ops would give a snitch a deal. You know what I'm saying? If you snitch on your homies, you know what I'm saying? He in there with Chick-fil-A and McDonald's, Burger King. They said, look, bro, you can go get you some lamb. You can get you whatever you want to eat. We just need we got to make it seem like it's pork though. So technically, you know what I'm saying? You in the good, you in the clear. But technically he's not. Because the law tells you not to lay a stumbling block in front of your neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? And that's a fat stumbling block, is it not?
Yeah.
Let me grab that real quick.
A lot of Israelites to sin. This is why you got Sirach, who was also a Hellenistic Jew, coming during this time saying, don't let the reverence of any man cause thee to fall. Imagine how many men he's seen fall behind elders. An elder fall away into Greek philosophy. Imagine all those men that followed him. Majority of these niggas probably gonna fall away. All because of their elder. All because of the deep respect and reverence that they had towards their elder. And they're like, oh, okay, the elder did it, so it must be okay.
Must be some understanding there.
Man.
It must be okay to break God's commandments. Anyways, verse 14 says, thou shalt not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but thou shalt fear thy God. I am the Lord. Even better commandment would be verse 18. It says, Leviticus 19:18, thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thyself thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. So if you really love your brother, and you knowing it's not okay to eat pork, you wouldn't put yourself in a position to where when brothers see you, they think that you're eating pork. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want them to see you and think that it's okay to eat pork. I could have worded that a lot better, but I think the point could be.
I got a question.
My point. Okay.
What about on your Hawashai's day?
Nah, bro.
You see? You see, this is madness.
That
This
can
is
cause brothers to fall, and them brothers gonna have a heavy judgment for that. And that's one of them things that you're gonna be required. That's gonna be required of you.
Hey, can you grab Matthew? I haven't grabbed this in a while. I think Matthew 5:17.
Yeah. This is the book
I
of
haven't
Matthew,
grabbed
chapter
this in a
5.
while.
Chapter 5, verse 17. And it says, "Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot and one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven."
It says, so if you break and teach against the least of the commandments, eating pork is the least of the commandments. I'm here to tell you that. It's the least of the commandments. But you doing it and you teaching men so, you're going to be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. I'm under the understanding that being the least in the kingdom of heaven is not good.
That's heavy.
My bad. Somebody called me.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, man. Being the least in the kingdom of heaven is not good. It's not okay. So if you have an elder man say you can break God's commandments, go with God. Don't go with man. Go with God. Right. Same thing in the situation of Paul. If it seems like Paul is telling you to break commandments, guess what? Go with God, right? But give me 10 seconds. I gotta call my mama real quick.
Okay. It said, "Those in charge of the sacrifice had been friends of Eleazar for a long time. And because of his friendship, they told him privately to bring meat that was lawful for him to eat. He need only to pretend to eat pork. They said, and in this way he would not be put to death. So he could save his own life. He didn't even have to eat anything unclean. He just had to make it seem like he was. So everybody could see him and be like, okay, Eleazar is eating pork. You know what I'm saying? Now they're more drawn to do it. You know what I'm saying? It says, but Eleazar made a decision worthy of his gray hair. It says worthy of his gray hair and advanced age. So he made a play. He made a play. All right, let me grab this in Job. Let me pull King back up. All right. Let me grab this precept in Job. This is the book of Job, chapter 32 and verse 7. It says, I said, days should speak, and multitude of years should teach wisdom. So the longer you lived on earth, the older you are, you're supposed to acquire more wisdom, more knowledge, more understanding. Right. And he made a decision that was worthy of his age. Right. He made a wise decision. It says all his life he had lived in perfect obedience to God's holy laws. Hey, look at that. You see that?
Yeah, that's hard.
Sheesh. I know it said that in the GNT ski. I gotta.
Motherfuckers say perfect obedience. This nigga was great.
I'm reading this joint in the KJV, but dang, I didn't know it said that in the GNT ski. Look,
Buddy
so it
was
says
amazing.
it says something different in the GNT, but it's still high. It says, I'm gonna read it in the KJV. It says, but he began to consider discreetly, and as became his age and excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray head, whereunto he was come, and his most honest education from a child, Look at that, man.
Yeah, educated.
It says honest education from a child. It says, or rather, the holy law be made and given by God. Therefore, he answered accordingly and willed them straight ways to send them to the grave. See, that KJV just got more sauce on it, man.
Yeah, they do.
I like
It's
it got
Jake,
more.
you know?
Yeah, that's hot. All right, but the GNT says so. He replied, "Kill me here and now." It says, "Such deception is not worthy of a man of my years. Many young
Hmm.
people would think that I had denied my faith after I was 90 years old."
Yeah.
Come on now, bro. Mighty in the spool. Come on now, man. Big bro Elazar was 90, bro. He could give you the whole scoop on life.
Yeah.
He could give
Bro,
you
he
the
probably,
whole road.
the question that probably popped in his head is like, eat this, why? So I can disobey God? Like, so I can live a little longer type shit? No. And it reminded me of Polycarp. Polycarp said, I'm not accustomed to repent from that which is good to attain that which is evil. That's not our custom. That's not our heritage.
Say that again slow.
We are our custom is to not repent of that which is good to attain that which is evil.
Ooh.
That's not how we get down. You see that with Eleazar or Alazar, right? You see it. No, we ain't getting down with that. For what? You see, he at every answer. Yeah, bro, just take me to this torment, dog. No, I heard you. Like I heard you say, I gotta eat this unclean thing. Just take me to this torment. I get it. I don't gotta eat the unclean thing, but I gotta make it act like it's unclean. Yeah, just take me to the torment. The hell we wasting time here for, bro? This man is going. No matter what you say to him, he's gonna keep God's commandments through and through. No matter what you bring to him. Yeah, I'm kind of gonna stick with God's commandments though. You know how vexing that is, bro? Imagine you being the enemy and you trying to get him to, break the Lord's commandments. Imagine you being the enemy. You know how fucking vexing that would be? It's like, god damn. Death? Don't scare this nigga? Come on, bro. What does it take? You know what it takes for today's generation? A little bit of holiday music. To defy God, all it takes is a little bit of holiday music, some weak ass chitlins, and for Esau to say it's okay. And now you got Jake calling the Yahweh Shai's day. That's all it takes. When back in the day, our forefathers wasn't going for none of this. None of this. Care who you are. Ain't going for this. Bro, in my book called The Jews in Their Land, it said that the Greeks and the Romans were astounded. These niggas were amazed at what torments we endured for our law.
Yeah.
They were amazed at
There.
that. You said
That
what?
right there. That right there go hard.
Yeah. They couldn't imagine it. Oh, yeah. But we don't got the same backbone as we used to. Like I said, throw some chitlins in a nigga face. His knees weak. Well, bro, Ak, Ak. I mean, it's not what go into it, man, that defile him, Ak. Niggas soft, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I need to create a page about me just ranting on how soft niggas is. You know what I mean? It's kind of cooking niggas up.
See, that's what we need to get on my YouTube, bro. I want to make it more casual where we kind of just our speed.
Just drilling. Yeah, man, because I be trying to watch my language, but it still be coming out through passion and anger.
See, I want to do stuff on my page where, we kind of just, you know what I'm saying?
Guns blazing, huh?
Kind of being young.
He said kind of being young.
Yeah.
I feel it. But my bad,
Come
you
with
got it.
that. We can come with that young nigga energy. You see what I'm saying?
He said that young nigga energy.
Hey,
Yeah.
some people are drawn to that spirit, and you know what I'm saying? And we really want to inspire the people who are young. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we want to edify our, the people who are not young, but we still want to be able to. I want whenever I'm walking in the truth, I want to be attractive to people who are our speed.
Hmm.
I'm a whole master builder kind of time. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Anyways, yeah,
some men, young men are tired of looking at weak men. They tired of looking at people who scared to say something, who don't want to say anything. You're kind of nervous and scared of what somebody going. Bro, people tired of that, bro. I'm not gonna. This is why a lot of people leave the Christian church. It ain't no backbone in there. They taught us to be soft at every turn.
what is Christians really standing for, man? Not a damn thing, man.
Nothing. My bad though. You got it.
Verse 25. If I pretended to eat this meat just to live a little while longer, it would bring shame and disgrace on me and lead many young people astray. So he considered his brothers. He considered his people. And me and Aharon have experienced people who just not moving in that kind of spirit. They will
You
do
got it.
stuff to cause their people to sin. I mean, that's not what righteous people do.
Your brother knock you down just so he can lift himself up.
That's
We
crazy.
heard this proverb in the world. Shit, that happened to me before. A nigga knock you down just to lift himself up. We've heard this proverb in the world. Crab in a bucket niggas. Our people is crabs in a bucket. I'ma pull you down so I can try to lift myself up while another nigga trying to pull you down, pull you down, pull you. When other nations and other communities don't lift, they don't uplift each other. I mean, my bad. Other nations, other communities uplift each other. My bad. They do that, which is why they see some form of success. Our people know, just like Eleazar, he said he was actually one of our people that did. He was like, nah, I had to think about my people, my nation, what this could look like, what terror this could bring upon them. We don't have a lot of that nowadays. Like my heart said, it's not a lot of that going around where you thinking about your neighbor, where you're thinking about your brother. I bring this example out often. Um, with the what is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? Oh yeah, when you're letting your light shine. Whenever you got a bright light and you shining your light can dim somebody else's light because theirs isn't as bright. With that comes jealousy and hatred. Jealousy and hatred comes along with that because they now starting to see, oh man, my light not shining so much, and it's all your fault. You may not did anything. It's all your fault. And they try to tear you down and try to destroy you because of it. Well, now you can be doing this trying to build yourself up, build your brothers up. It doesn't matter, right? This brother, his light shined, and I'm almost certain there's people out here that hate Eleazar. I'm almost certain. Why do you have to do all of that? He didn't have to be extra. He could have just said no. You probably got some people out here that genuinely dislike Eleazar for what he did, just because Eleazar went hard. There's people that hated Christ. There's people that hated David. Come on now, it's everywhere, right? But Salakia, it's on you.
Verse 26. For the present, I might be able to escape what you could do to me, but whether I live or die, I cannot escape Almighty God Yahweh. That's hot.
That's wisdom.
That's understanding right there. Right? You hear me? That's understand. I might be able to live right now and escape judgment from you, but I am
Yeah,
never going to be able to escape the judgment of God, whether I live or whether I die. It says, if
that's
I die
bad.
bravely right now, it will show that I deserved my long life. Mm. It will also set a good example of the way young people should be willing and glad to die for our sacred and respected laws. As soon as he said these things, he went off to be tortured. And the very people who treated him kindly a few minutes before now turned against him because they thought he had spoken like a madman. When they had beaten him almost to the point of death, he groaned and said, "The Lord possesses all holy knowledge. He knows I could have escaped these terrible sufferings and death. Yet he also knows that I gladly suffer these things because I fear him." So
Mm.
Eliezer died, but his courageous death was remembered as a glorious example, not only by young people, but by the entire nation as well.
That's
He
tough.
says, the Lord know I could have escaped. Dang, bro. He wrong for that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he a monster. He's a monster, bro. Men like him is what the other nations fear.
If you got
There's nothing.
a whole nation of people with that mentality,
Hmm. What can you offer him to break God's laws? What could you take away from him to break God's laws? You threaten to take away his life. There's nothing you can take or give to this man to break God's laws. Shit, good luck. That's our folks. That's our forefathers, man. And there's plenty more accounts of brothers doing stuff like this, courageous acts like this, courageous, being brave on the behalf of God. That's nasty. That's nasty. A common man, can you still hear me out?
yep.
A common man wouldn't understand what's going on here. And then gonna look at it, he gonna read it and be like, why didn't he just eat the pork? I don't get it. And they gonna try to make the argument so pork is more worth your life. They're gonna try to come and make these arguments. And these arguments work against men and women who are babes in the truth, people who are doubtful, people who, half in, half out, people who kind of don't even really want to be here. These arguments work for people like that. Your life isn't worth pork. So you're telling me if you're on the line, you're gonna eat the pork, and it start resonating with those kind of people. They don't really understand it. They don't really get it. It's not about the pork. It's not. It's about disobeying God. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. They could have offered him anything to where he would disobey God. The outcome would have been the same. No, torment. Same thing with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. In their situation, it wasn't pork. It was direct idolatry. Get down and worship. No. Guess what? Torment. The common man and woman, they wouldn't be able to understand this. It's too high for them, right? You can't be in the world and read this and make it make sense. It won't hit. It's not gonna have the same effect. It's not gonna make sense. It's because they're disobedient to God. My God wouldn't want me to do that. You telling me Eleazar's God would, but your God won't? And Eleazar is more wise than you. I'm almost certain, I'm 1,000% certain he has a better relationship with God than you. But you telling me your God won't? Hmm. Okay. It's a lot of niggas out here. It's funny. It's a lot of niggas out here preparing themselves for heaven, and they don't know that they're gonna like die. You know what I mean? You're gonna die here in America. I just got done talking to my ribs about this. A lot of people are gonna die here in America because you wicked, because you choose to serve your flesh more than the spirit, more than the Most High God. And it boils down to being that simple. You would rather serve yourself and your lust more than the Most High God. God don't get down like that. That's a big surprise to a lot of people. God don't get down like that. A lot of you, well, God knows my heart. Me and Captain Jeremiah sat there with a Edomite man, and he told us I can go in this school building. I can go in this building, kill everybody in there, and God knows my heart, and I'll still be forgiven because I accepted Jesus Christ into my heart. This is what's going around. This is what people are teaching. That man's going to be destroyed. He's going to be destroyed because nowhere in the scriptures does God get down like that, ever. You just go off and do a bungalow of wickedness and think, oh man, God's okay with it though. It's not in the text. It's not in the scriptures. You got Feast of Dedication going on, and I'm almost certain there's brothers out there getting ready to celebrate Christmas. Just got done celebrating Thanksgiving. Not worried about. Let me ask you a question. You still here?
Can you hear me?
Yes. The brother, the brother that got down with Thanksgiving doing your house size day nonsense. How the hell you think he's celebrating feast dedication? What animal is he eating on feast dedication? More than likely,
I don't know what the brother doing, man.
he more than likely eating pig. You know how much a direct transgression that is against the whole dedication.
It's a big smack in the face to mighty brothers who put their put their life down for other Israelites, man. They put their life on the line multiple times so that your enemies wouldn't come subdue you.
Yep.
And feast of dedication roll around and you just, I don't know, man. If them brothers would celebrate Thanksgiving like that, there's a lot of things they'd do.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what they're going to do on Christmas.
Yeah.
To be real with you. I don't even want to know, man.
So you want to know, man?
I don't even want to know, man.
That's madness.
That's crazy right there. That ain't it, y'all.
Yeah. Moral of the story, right? Moral of the story is obey God, even if death calls for it. That's the moral of this story. That's what everybody should take away from this lesson. Obey God no matter what. That's what it is. That's literally the moral, the end all be all, the summarization of this story. That's what this 90-year-old man just taught all of us. Obey God even unto death. Because even in the grave, guess what? He didn't disobey God. He didn't.
Shawab dropped a good precept.
Go ahead and grab it.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 28, and it says, "And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell." Basically, don't fear men, fear God. Basically, the whole breakdown right there.
That's what Eleazar said. I can escape your hand right now. But you know who I'm not gonna be able to escape? The Most High God. So I'd rather tango with you. Rather deal with you, bro. I ain't gonna lie. This is
Yep.
easy.
Sheesh. That was good, man. So, Lord willing, we can jump back on here again tomorrow. I know I get off before you, King. Maybe I can catch you while you're still at work if I'm in the spirit. Or we can get it going while I'm on the road on my way home back to Oklahoma. Maybe we could, but then I ain't gonna really be able to read. Neither one of us really. Maybe we'll have a soldier jump on or something. Probably won't be Malachi though, because he's at work.
Figure something out.
Yeah. But regardless, though, y'all should jump into Maccabees. Second Maccabees chapter 9 is hot. Maybe we'll jump into that. How Antiochus died, man. That's one of my favorite reads. One of my favorite chapters. But yeah, I'm wrap this joint up, man. You got any last words?
No, sir.
All right. I'm gonna grab. Let's see. Let me go back to Maccabees, man. I'm gonna grab one out of the ear. Let's see. All right. So, Second Maccabees chapter 6, verse 31 in the KJV, and it says, "And thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of noble courage and a memorial of virtue, not only unto young men, but to all his nation." So you want to be moved in the spirit to where it can be memorialized. You want to do something. Hey, I used to say this all the time, Mike, if you remember Saquon. I used to always say, I can only hope to do something as honorable as my forefathers.
God.
All praises, man. So with that, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem, Hamashiach, Yahushua. Lord willing, brothers and sisters, was edified. And until next time, shalom.
Shalom.